Mason. How is everybody? Well, I hope. I will. I'm now starting the process of circulating my petition for another term as committee person for my division in the 48th Ward, Philadelphia. I encourage you, each and every one of you, to take part in the electoral process and vote. Study, study the issues, discuss them amongst yourselves, and vote intelligently. And here's another thing. Maybe you can run for an office. That's right. You, whatever station of life you're in, whether you're a retiree like me or in construction or sanitation or cashier at a thrift store, yes, you honestly consider running for an office. There'll be several great progressive organizations that'll guide you through the process. But please stay involved in the political process, because the political process affects every waking moment of your lives. From the building code that your house is built on, to the water system, the sewage system, the postal service, the licenses and inspection department of your city, the public transit department, all that all affects the quality of your life. And you deserve a say in that. You have to do that, not just for yourselves, but for your community. And one thing that's always been a fight, gerrymandering. It's the old venerable process whereby one dominant political party redraws the boundaries of legislative districts in the favor of their own party, their own candidates, and excluding anyone else. But it is by this means that good progressive legislation, anything beneficial to working people, people of color, just it's by these means that we can't have the government more responsive to us. We must challenge that. A subdivision of gerrymandering is prison gerrymandering. That's when inmates in a state correctional institution are counted in that community's population, thereby artificially inflating the population of that community for the benefit of some rural district, where they should be classed as residents of their own home communities. Any dirty trick in the book to prevent the people from participating in what is a democracy, as we like to call ourselves. Last year, state legislatures dominated by Republicans have set up so many roadblocks and artificial barriers for people to vote, like banning certain drop-off boxes in certain locations, and banning certain forms of ID, and a notorious law in Georgia banning the giving of food and water to people standing in line in the hot sun, people well up in their years, food and water while they're in line. Let that sink in. Giving somebody food is a criminal, while they're getting ready to vote, is a criminal offense in Georgia. I guess the old saying, some rules are made to be broken. Well, there are people willing to go the route of civil disobedience and challenge that. getting into what John Lewis called good trouble. Good trouble for the righteous cause. And just because something's legal doesn't make it right. Now we have this atrocious law down in Florida that prohibits teachers from saying anything referencing to LGBT issues, the so-called Don't Say Gay bill. How are kids going to learn about LGBT kids if nobody talks about it? You can't always count on the parents. I'm going to stick my neck out here. You can't always count on the parents because the parents don't want to talk about it either. There are plenty of cases, and I should know, that when the parents are a detriment to the kid's upbringing. But I'm not talking about all parents. Every situation, every family, and every individual is unique in its way. But you get my point. Education is to prepare kids for adulthood when they have to deal with these issues like poverty and unemployment and housing and issues related to LGBTQ people. They're going to come across them eventually. No way of avoiding them. Nor should they be sculling back into the closet like back in the day. And speaking of detriments to kids, the Attorney General of Texas has the bright idea of wanting to arrest parents involved in the transitioning of their parents in the kids. Excuse me. There are these kids who find out that they were born in the wrong gender, and they have to go through the surgery and the hormone treatments to change the gender they want, the gender they believe they belong in. And the Attorney General of Texas has the bright idea of arresting parents and others involved in transitioning in gender reassignment surgery for kids. That is child abuse. Child abuse. Forcing a kid to hate himself or herself because of what they are inside. How is that for child abuse? Transgender kids, gay kids, kids in minorities. I mean, they face it all the time. Kids need encouragement. I mean, kids need to be told when they're going off track. But what is the right track? We have to support them as they go on the right track. Find out who they really are, so as nobody else is harmed. That's the thing about the conservative movement. They believe that they're the center of the universe and all public policies should bow down to them, whether it's popular, whether they're in the right or whether they're in the majority or not. They don't like gays, so instead of not dealing with gays, we want to oppress gays and not just leave them be. They don't like books with sexual content, so they want, just as some of us do, so they raid the library, raid the bookstore to find books with sexual content and burn them. They don't like discussion about abortion or even the act of abortion, so they keep others from having abortion. They don't like alternate relationship styles outside of monogamy, like polyamory, so they prevent other people from having non-monogamous relationships. You get the picture. They have to understand that the world doesn't revolve around them. and we mustn't let them dictate to us. We don't need their permission to be out in the streets if we have to submit our petitions. We don't need them to express our opinions. And I don't care if they object or are blue in the face. We'll assert our rights. Go back to the days of we leave you alone and you leave us alone. And if they don't, we'll put them in a world of trouble. Okay, not a violent way, but we'll stand up to them. We continue to stand up to them. I'm not advocating violence. Okay, I don't want to get censored. I mean, that's another thing, censorship. They were always finding some lame excuse to block intelligent discussion among living people and over the social media systems. Okay? Just don't let them intimidate us. Get out there and vote. Get out there and talk. And get out there in the streets if you have to. Okay, now, I now talk up one of my favorite small businesses, Hamperific LLC. It's a wonderful little hip little CBD store on 15th and Snyder in South Philadelphia. And they sell flour and gummies and candies and teas and drinks and dog treats. And also lip balm and hand sanitizer. Please look them up. HamperificLLC.com. And now I also talk up my wonderful business and career coach, Michelle Snow. Michelle, like any other coach, will encourage you as you're developing your professional career or your small business. Let you know what you're doing right, where you need improvement, and help you network with other small entrepreneurs and professionals. Please look her up. growwithsnow.com. Okay, cats and kittens, I'm all talked out for now, but more to come, trust me. See you at the voting booth. Bye.